Welcome back. In this video, we're going to find out how to fix this pesky little problem with our firebolts. Sometimes they don't explode. Now what happens is if we're launching a firebolt at an enemy, and that enemy just happens to die before the firebolt gets there, well, the firebolt still homes in on its homing target, which is now gone. Let me show you what I mean. There we go. So the enemy died and the firebolt floats there. And after the enemy sort of perishes, look at that. There's really no homing target for it to go to, and that's annoying. Now, there's a fix to this. We can fix it in tick. Wait a minute. Did Steven just say tick? Isn't that bad practice? Tick is always bad practice, right? Well, not if you can set the tick rate to a low value. So an actor doesn't tick very often. Let's go into Ability System, Aura, Abilities, Fire, Firebolt, and get our BP Firebolt. Now, an actor that ticks less often is a lot more performant. And if we have BP Firebolt self-selected, right here we have a tick interval. Now, if it's set to 0, well, that's going to be the maximum. And let's just see what that looks like by drawing a debug sphere at its location. We're going to get actor location. And I'm going to promote this to a variable called location this frame. And I'm going to set that in tick, and I'm going to use that to draw a debug sphere with a radius of 5. It's going to be white, and its duration can be 5 seconds. So let's see how often that tick looks like. That's a whole lot of spheres, right? Now, if we set our tick rate, which is this tick interval here, to 0.1, that's 10 times per second. That's a lot less than 60 or 120. Modern computers these days, it's 120. So 10 times per second is not often at all. Let's check it out now. See, that's a lot less. And we could even put this down even more to say 0.2. That's 5 times per second. I mean, that's not very long. Now, my point is that we can use tick and we can see if that fireball has stopped moving. That's the approach I'd like to take. So I'm going to take that draw debug sphere, set it off to the side. We're going to set location this frame, but I'm also going to promote that get actor location to a variable and call this one, this will be the location last frame. So location last frame. And I'm going to set location last frame equal to location this frame before updating location this frame, like that. And now we have this frame and last frame. We can see the difference between them. So I'm going to take location this frame, subtract location last frame, and we can get the vector length of this, and that will tell us how far apart these locations are. So if we get a vector length, we can check it, and we can have a minimum. We can have a threshold. So let's go ahead and make a variable called min distance per frame. This can be a float. We can compile, and we can set this to a low value like 10. And we can check if this vector length is less than or equal to min distance per frame. If that is the case, well, let's do a branch and decide what happens. What I'd like is for the projectile to go kaboom. So spawn a sound at location, and let's just see what our impact sound is here. It's this sound effect right here, so I'm going to set that. The location, we have location this frame, and then spawn system at location. And again, I want to see what impact effect we have here. It's this one. And actually we have two. We're not using this one. So if we use this one, we could change it up a little bit, change how it looks, and then we'll know for sure if that is what is being spawned. So we'll do that at location this frame. like so, and then we'll destroy the actor. Okay, now this explosion, I'm going to just change a bit. You can uncheck these emitters to change what it looks like. I'm just going to change it so it just does one little thing, perhaps just the ring. And maybe the spark's black. That's pretty different, so I'm going to save that. And now, with our fix in place, let's see what happens. And we definitely saw them explode. See, it hovered for a second and then it exploded, which actually looks pretty cool. See, hover, explode. And that little hover for a second, of course, you can change the tick interval to a smaller value, but 0.2 is fine. It's only 5 times per frame. That is not that much at all. And of course, all of this is something that could be moved into C++ as well. It's not going to be that much more performant. I'm just going to collapse it to a function and call this make go kaboom. And we'll do that in event tick. We'll say make go kaboom if no move. Make go kaboom if no move. Perfectly descriptive, right? Perfectly. All right, so that takes care of that issue. And of course, you don't have to play the weird little black tar looking explosion. You can play the regular explosion. Boom, boom. Awesome. So yeah, we don't have to play that weird explosion. We can play our impact effect. So I'm just going to browse to that and use that system. And with that, we have a very nice performant solution. I'll see you in the next video.